You can tell you're getting older too, because it's like, I'm gonna listen to audio,
yeah.
and they're all gonna be based on self-improvement,
Some of them are,
or true crime, or romance.
The one that I don't like romance books. I do like true crime, and I do like self-help. The self-helps that I like are the financial ones. I always listen to those, and then I'm like, well, I should do that, but I don't.
Because women like serial killers, weirdly.
Yeah.
They have a weird, like, and guys too. Like, I mean, I watch tons of true crime stuff, but it's weird. That would normally, to me, be the thing where I would think women would be like, oh my God. But, like, a lot of chicks are like, and then how did he kill her?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because women are fucked up.
She was playing the piano, and then what happened? You know what I mean? So it is like a very dark romance novel.
It is a dark, you're right. Serial killers are very romantic.
Dark romance. You're right. Serial killers are very romantic. Yeah, there's never the dozen flowers killer. There's never the dozen roses killer. We're like, well, he just takes her out for coffee, and they really hit it off.
It's not even just serial killers, true crime. Like, women love true crime, and I don't know why. Maybe, I'm sure men love it too, but it's just this thing
it's a human thing where we're like just sort of attracted to this idea of like, but then I think we're weirdly attracted. The weird part of the attraction is like, well, what interests you in this? Like, I listened to it like Serial season 1, whatever. It's like, you know, what sort of the jumping off point for true crime podcasts.
That's a good one.
And it's just essentially a he said, she said. Like, there really shouldn't be anything interesting about it except a real person died.
Yeah.
If you just take a real person dying out of that story, it's a garbage story. Like, if a person isn't murdered, if it's just like, well, this guy, he hit my car. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, wow, join us for episode 9
of
Did Terry Hit Your Car? We'd be like, fuck you.
Have you ever heard of This Sounds Serious?
No.
It is a parody true crime. It's like a parody of it, and it's the guys that did This Is That, Peter Oldring and Pat Kelly.
They're good.
And those guys, and like, it's so funny. It's about this weatherman that gets murdered, and he's got a twin brother, and they find him dead in his waterbed. Like, it's just really funny, but it sounds so real, but some of the stuff is just like a little bit too much weird.
Yeah.
But it is funny.
Yeah, it is fertile ground because you can like interview like, well, I never did nothing to her. But the problem is like, it's really hard to keep people's attention unless somebody's dead. You know, like, so even the parody version would have to be like, okay, hit me with it episode 1. I'm not going to go through a 10 episode arc on your dumb fake murder.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like a real murder, we could fucking tune into that for 9 years.
Yeah, like the O.J. Simpson trial.
And it's usually female victims. So it's like the most cowardly men on the planet is a serial killer. He's killing mostly women. Yeah. All by himself. Like some fucking crazed lunatic. And we were like, oh, that's interesting. How's that interesting?
Well, maybe you feel just beautiful if a serial killer kills you. You're finally someone's type. Because serial killers have a type.
They do have a type.
They do. I think that of all the serial killers, the guy, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, would have wanted me because he likes a rounder, chubby girl.
Yeah,
he likes some meat on his...
Little meat on
because he wanted the extra skin.
Right.
So, but my skin underneath is not perfect.
Skin.
But...
And you are an extra skin gal.
I have too much extra skin.
I'm sorry, I know I'm way uglier than you, and I should
No.
But you are a Buffalo Bill.
I think that's who would come.
You're lucky you never ran into that motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's not real.
Because he'd put you in a bucket in an hour. But yeah, I guess some of them. Who do they usually like? They like Koreans.
I don't know.
Some of them like Korean girls.
I haven't heard that many people. It's almost always white women.
Is it really? And they're jogging. They're usually doing something, right? Not homebodies.
No.
They're doing stuff. But the Golden State Killer, he was the most fucked up guy. I think.
And he got away with it for so long, and then Patton Oswalt's wife caught him.
Yeah, and he got arrested. He got arrested. He was a police officer.
What's her name? Because I don't want to say Patton Oswalt's wife. Fucking feel like an asshole.
Michelle McNamara.
She's amazing.
But I mean, the Golden State Killer, he like was arrested at one point with like buying like a fish bat and bear repellent or something. It's like he's shoplifting that's the ultimate kick in the dick. Yeah. He was shoplifting the stuff he killed women with. Yeah. Well, you can't buy it? Yeah. What are you, fucking insane? Like, I got busted stealing a bunch of knives and bear repellent and a sign that says...
put it in the budget.
Yeah, put it in your fucking serial killer budget. You're shoplifting. That is the ultimate dick kick for anybody who's murdered by a serial killer. He didn't even pay for the shit he's killing me with. He's going to return it tomorrow.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's going back to Home Depot and he's like, this bear repellent didn't work and this knife does not go through bone as advertised.
Yeah.
I don't know who's advertising. Knives that go through bone.
Well, if it's a bear knife, you're hoping it goes through bone.
It better go through
because you gotta cut through bone when you kill bears.
That's one thing I'm loving about cameras being everywhere is there's way more footage of like bears almost killing people. Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you
that one where the kid felt it was in Vancouver and the seal like jumped up and grabbed the kid and pulled it into the water.
And I'm never rooting for the human.
No, I'm always rooting for the animal.
I always want the animal
to
murder the human.
Who do you root for when you watch animals killing each other? Like
the littler one.
I want the victim
I'm an
to
underdog
get away.
person.
Yeah,
I want the victim to leave.
Yeah,
I don't want a wolf to get a gazelle. That's gross.
Hate that.
Because they die and they're such assholes about it.
Yeah.
The way that they kill, the bears especially. Like bears will gnaw half of your body while you're laying there screaming for your mom and then it'll like read a book. It'll like read a book while you bleed out and then go back to eating you. A bear will fill its tummy on a little nibble. Like it would treat us like a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
It would like eat your salad,
Ooh,
your legs,
my
legs,
thigh salad.
your thigh salad, and then it would fucking dab its mouth while you laid there screaming, and then it would get into the entree, the middle bits, and then brain dessert.
Brain dessert.
Mm-hmm. That's where they go for the dessert.
I bet you my brain is very tasty.
I bet it's salty as fuck.
Why salty?
I don't know. I just feel like you wouldn't have a sweet brain.
No, I don't think I'd have a sweet brain.
No.
It's pretty pickled.
I'd have a sweet. What would be? I mean, my body would be sweet. Like not, but it would be like, oh, this guy was diabetic the whole time. This guy had uncontrollable diabetes. He's so sweet. Isn't he so sweet? This sweet meated fuck. But yeah, I'm liking watching.
So why don't diabetics get their dick sucked more often if they taste so sweet?
Well, because they're bigger, right? I mean, not the dicks.
Oh, what a catch-22! That doesn't bother me.
Diabetes
well,
gives you a fatter body, less prone to having your dick sucked, so that sweet cum no one gets to enjoy.
Oh.
What a waste of sweet semen.
What if only ugly people had tasty cum? And we'd never know.
Oh, of course you wouldn't.
Well, you...
Well, I've had sex with nobody. You've had sex with a lot of, like, weird people.
A lot of people.
We're on the opposite side of this. I'm unfuckable and you're too fuckable. You know what I mean? That's who we are. That's our fucking combo name.
Should we rename the podcast to Unfuckable and Too Fuckable?
Too Fuckable and Unfuckable. Well, it's the same thing as, did anybody respond to who won our rap battle? Did a single human being say
yes. Nick, Tim Coslow's son.
Did he not like the podcast? We did.
No, he loved it.
Okay.
He said that you won. In a show of absolutely no friendship loyalty.
Wow.
He's like, his just looked nicer and his looked thinner, and I have a beard and I like a thin dick in my mouth. So I don't get any of that.
You didn't have to make it sexual.
No, but
it was just a better rap. You don't have to turn it into a dick. According
to one man, it was a better rap.
Right. Nobody, but I will say this. Nobody fucking says the patriarchy. You know what I mean? Like, that's people. I think a bunch of people saw my rap and your rap and said, "This is the clear winner," but I'm not going to say anything about it because what does this do for girl power? Nothing. Well, that's a good thing to pick up on. Although I think 3 times in my life I've been sucking a dick and Varsity Blues was on, and you didn't have anything to do with it.
Nothing.
Not like you popped in the DVD.
No.
This is my dick sucking video. You want to watch porn? No.
Let's watch my dick sucking movie.
Suck dick to.
I want to watch James Van Der Beek cry.
Yeah, I want to watch Schindler's List and blow.
That'd be even worse if it was each 3 times it was Schindler's List playing in the background.
That'd be pretty fucked up.
Be fucked up. No.
What is that shit?
Oh, that's my phone.
Is it a person?
Dad's official trailer. What? Oops. I was looking up our... Sorry, I was looking up our views.
How's married life?
We didn't know I'm not married yet.
Well, but you are.
I'm getting there. Some of these have 40 views. There are 40 weirdos watching this.
Yeah.
we get like
like they'll start watching. Does that count?
A lot more. We got a lot more listens.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're pretty big time.
Oh, look at you! Like, don't tell them only 40 people listen.
Don't give them a number. Let them dream that 100 listen to this.
Yeah. I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot.
That's funny when you're an unpopular podcast. Never bring up the numbers.
Never bring up the
But
numbers.
then if you were a popular podcast, they'd probably also say don't bring up the numbers.
Why not?
It's kind of gross. Like when you're listening to a podcast and they're like, "Hey, everybody,
Hey,
1.8 million
Yeah.
listen to this." You're kind of like, "Oh, this isn't some special little thing."
Who says that? Like Joe Rogan?
Well, nobody says that, but I don't know. Like, how many people listen to Rogan? That's
A lot. Enough to
probably
get
millions.
millions of people listen.
I don't
And
know.
I mean, he is well, the thing that Rogan is good at is kind of asking. He's not afraid to ask the everyman dumb question.
Yeah.
You know,
And
he's
he
not
has
afraid.
weird guests on and yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So, but he's not afraid to be like he tries to sound smart, but then he's not afraid to ask. So, I mean, those are the questions I want to answer.
Yeah.
Like, if you're listening to a podcast and it's two astrophysicists talking, then it kind of gets garbled and you're like, what the fuck is...
Yeah.
But when Rogan's like, so how many years does it take to get to that planet? What kind of car could go to the sun? And then the guy has to answer it.
Good question, Joe.
Great question, Joe. Well, and they do have to answer it by saying great question, Joe, because the amount of exposure they get on that fucking podcast, they can't get anywhere else.
There's comics that have actual like careers because they were on the podcast. Tim Dillon, I would say, Tim Dillon's always been funny, but he was on Rogan's podcast and blew the fuck up. He's hilarious. So, and that's the thing is if you're on Rogan, you better be fucking funny.
You gotta do it.
Because you will have to you'll either get some sort of following or you won't get anything. If you go on Rogan and you don't get a ton of new followers, you're like, oh,
the guys that I've seen go in and do well generally tend to be guys that are like, I'm not going to try to develop chemistry
they just
with
themselves.
Joe. I'm going to be a one-man show over here. And then let Joe say whatever. Like, if you try to get on the same wavelength and riff back and forth with Joe, you really can't. Because he's more MMA, you know what I mean? Like, he's more of a fucking word grappler. It's hard to have chemistry with him because he's just like, oh yeah, that's like that fucking $1.8 million addition to my home I just built. And then, so you can't relate to anything he's talking about. That reminds me so much of the new skylight we got in. I don't know how much that cost.
Last weekend I went on a hunting trip.
Yeah, I was in, so it's really hard to develop chemistry with Joe. So you just talk, wait for him to be done talking and then go.
Well, that's probably why people like that slowly get more and more hated. Like, same with Oprah, same with Ellen. At the beginning, they were kind of like, they weren't rich. They were just kind of like, woo, let's have fun. I'm having a good time. Like, I'm hoping this happens to us in about 5 years, where we just blow up and get too rich and we're just so down. Like, we don't even see it.
Yeah. Think about how quickly you would quit this podcast.
No!
Sure you would.
Why?
Why wouldn't you? You'd
I have fun doing
crazy to fucking keep doing it.
Obviously I don't do it for the money.
No, I do it for I do it for the Red Bull.
Yeah.
But it is funny to see people like scientists that go on Joe Rogan and they're trying to sell a book or something, and all of a sudden Joe asks them the dumbest fucking question in science history, and they're like, yeah. I never thought of it that way, Joe. That's an interesting.
Way to think outside the box.
That's deep insight, Joe. So people are just sucking his dick constantly.
Yeah.
He's on
I wonder
there
what that does to someone's brain to just have people always being like, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Because what if you don't feel like you're the best? Like, what if someone kept on saying you're the best to you every day? You'd be so annoyed.
Well, it'd be hard. Think about if you had the Kathleen McGee podcast and 10 million people listened to it, and every person that came in was like, "You're so beautiful and you've lost so much weight and you're, oh my god." After all, I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Well, it would be wrong.
They wouldn't be wrong.
I'm so awful.
But you'd still get tired of it.
I would get tired of it.
But you'd be like, "Oh, stop it."
Okay.
But please continue.
But
and then every question you asked, they were like, "Oh, that is such a great question." And you're like, "Is it? Is anything I do
you wouldn't
real anymore?"
feel real anymore. I don't think you would feel. That's what happens to all celebrities on some level, but to the big ones where everybody, because my cousin worked at a hotel in London, and she said Mariah Carey came in, and Mariah Carey had all 3 pages of rules that everyone in the hotel had to read, and there were things on it like, you may not ride in the elevator with Ms. Carey. You may not this with Ms. Carey. and all these different rules.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
she said at all times she had a minimum of one person, like with her, making sure her hair looked great, making sure her makeup looked great, just following her around, telling her she's beautiful. Like, look, my cousin was like, they walk around like, "You're so amazing, Mariah. You're so incredible." But she's a fucking diva, and that's why she's supposed to be like that. She was blessed to get to, like, can you imagine getting to be a diva? Can you imagine getting to be Mariah Carey or Beyonce and just being like, I know it sounds like you're like, people kissing your ass all the time, but these bitches can just, they can do this, just the most ridiculous shit, and then people think that they're amazing.
It's just two things. You sing and you're hot.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So, like, you see, like, wow, that girl's really hot. Like, can she sing?
There's
and
no
then
divas in any other. Are there no divas in any other?
I guess the male
divas?
version of that. Well, there are like Justin Timberlake or whatever, but like, yeah, for guys, I guess it's sports. It's like, he's a good-looking guy. Can he play hockey? Oh, he's really good at hockey. Oh, he crushes.
Oh no, it's more like, here's an average to below average looking guy.
No,
Can he play hockey? Oh yeah. Well, he's gonna get a mansion and a really hot fucking wife. You just won the dumb man lottery.
And his kids are gonna look weird. Yeah,
That's the funny part.
Jock kids always look weird, man, because
They
you got
do.
one hot
Super
DNA,
hot.
one ultra hot DNA
And
strand,
then some
and then
Ryan
one
Smith
fucking
looking cross-eyed weirdo.
rugged Ukrainian forehead. With a, like, it's a super hot kid with a rugged Ukrainian forehead. Just fucking pierogi brow. And you're like, what is up with that kid? Oh
my God.
Somebody money, one parent has money, the other parent.
I guess that's how you tell if somebody married for money or married for love and then got rich, right? Because if there's one really hot parent and then you see the kids, you're like, okay, all right, well.
And then God's way of evening out the universe is two ugly people can have good-looking children, so
Yeah.
they can turn their fortunes around.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
that is the way to turn your fortune.
So you don't die in whatever the fuck this place is called. What is it? I mean, a lot of people die here. I should.
Hey, you better be careful. You're in the room with a member of the board.
Member of the board.
Oh.
It's a nice building. But we were downstairs today,
Yeah.
and it is sad when you go to an elders building.
It is an old folks
And
home,
they're like,
right?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not an old folks home, but
it feels like you live in the building my grandma once lived in.
It's a place where old people can feel safe.
Yeah.
Right? It's probably
Gym.
80%, 90% seniors and gym.
Yeah.
Seniors and gym.
Yeah. Are you the youngest one in this complex? Do you
I
know?
have no idea.
I bet
Oh,
you.
he's definitely
I've
the
never
youngest.
seen anyone
The youngest,
even
the best
close
looking.
to our
All
age.
the old ladies like, oh, have you seen? Oh.
Just giving out
I
his
mean,
address.
317 walked by. I heard 317's door open, and I thought, ooh, let's take a peek. And then, like, yeah, I'm just coming out for my Edmonton Journal, and I'm gonna follow him all the way down.
Do you think when you're older, you're still more attracted to young people, or like you finally are like, no, that old guy is pretty cute?
Old ladies, when they get together and drink wine and stuff, they
Mhm.
for sure don't talk about men in their 60s. What a waste of time. You don't have that much time left. You're not gonna waste it talking about 60-year-old men.
Well, so we're talking about
So
men.
they'd be talking about guys like Jim, like the hot guy that lives in the same building as a
Yeah.
bunch of seniors and was fucking, you know,
I bet your dick has been talked about in this building.
Yeah,
At a bridge game. At a bridge
oh,
game.
at a bridge game. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Those ladies.
They pontificated on the shape, size, and like all of it. They thought about it.
Is your husband finally asleep? Yeah, it's 7:30. He's gone. Talk to me about what you saw this afternoon. Jim was putting garbage in the dumpster, and his shirt came up a little bit. And I was, ooh, I almost fell at my balcony. You know how when people throw things above their head and the shirt comes up? I almost saw his belly button, and I jumped off my balcony. Oh, wait till I tell Cindy. Yeah, but whenever old people, it's funny when you come to like a seniors building.
Yeah.
Whenever there's always like, you know, like a little board up, it'd be like furniture for sale, and it's always everything. It's always all the furniture from unit 310.
It's not like we got a new coffee table. We're getting rid of the
it's
old
like
one.
here's everything. Here's all of it.
That
Somebody's dead, and here's everything they have. Who wants everything at old? I don't want I don't want dead furniture or clothing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, I don't think. But you know what? One of my uncles was a Ukrainian farm boy, and he had the most amazing clothing. Like it was like 1960. Like it was just like he probably had like $5,000 worth of vintage clothing that was his regular wardrobe. Like it was like stuff that you'd be like, if I saw that in a vintage store, I would pay $100 for that. Like he had a closet full. I don't know what happened to it, but
the problem with all that great clothing is the sleeves are already too short. That piece of shit's
do
been
you
in the
wear-
dryer 900 times.
do you wear secondhand clothes?
I
That's the
used
same
to like
thing.
cowboy.
It's not like you're
weird,
buying the clothes the person died
but
in.
it always stinks. Like there's no way
But
to get rid
they
of
were
that
dead
fucking
in it.
death.
They were dead in those clothes.
Yeah, but they were dying in them. You know what I mean? He wore that cowboy shirt like a week before he passed.
But what about if it was an
One of his
accident?
treatments or something. I don't want to even wear something that, it's bad luck, I think, to wear the pants of a dead man. I don't really like it. Especially like if a woman, that'd be nice to walk into a relationship.
Is it good or bad luck to wear the pants of a dead man?
Let's see what Google says.
I found this on the web.
Cowboy superstitions. You're a cowboy. At cowboysshowcase.com.
Cowboy superstitions. Never wear a dead man's pants.
Top 10 rodeo cowboy superstitions. You want me to read them all?
These are good.
Yeah.
Number 10. Never wear yellow in the arena. It will bring bad luck.
Yellow.
9. Always shave before the competition.
You can't have a beard, man.
That's why I never fucked a bronco riding cowboy.
Why can't they have facial hair, I wonder?
I don't know. Never eat peanuts or popcorn in the arena.
Because you might shit on the back of a bull. And they hate that.
Never read your horoscope on competition day.
Oh my fuck, this whole list is garbage.
Eating a hot dog before competition brings good luck.
Oh, okay, I don't mind that one.
Never put your hat on bed. That will bring
Oh, I think I've heard something
that
like
before. Don't compete with change in your pocket because that's all you might win.
I don't know if I like that one.
Cowgirls often wear different colored socks on each foot for luck. Cowgirls.
Do they get on horses too?
Girls are allowed on horses.
Not in some countries.
Yeah, it's a country.
Not in Turkey.
Never kick a paper cup thrown down at a rodeo. And then number
What
one,
the fuck?
rodeo cowboy superstition. A saddle bronc rider always puts the right foot in the stirrup first. But I wanted to see, where's the rich man's pants?
Where's this don't wear a dead man's pants?
Dead man's pants.
Well, because I guess I've always had this weird. Imagine like if you're a wife and your husband dies and all. What do you do with those? And then you find a new boyfriend, like your rebound
And you
guy,
give it to him?
You give him.
I don't
the
think
new
that
boyfriend your
happens.
dead husband's clothing.
Oh my god, can you imagine if there are men out there that are just waiting? Because I'm like, I want a new wardrobe. I gotta wait for this guy to die, but I'm gonna move right in.
Right.
Creepy.
Real quick. Take all the clothes
Oh
and
my
then break
God.
up with her. What a power move.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh, I guess they fit. And then you're like, fuck, I knew they'd fit perfectly because
Oh
I know
my
his
God.
size.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? You start dating the girl whose husband had the best clothing.
My aunt left me some hot pants.
Really?
Suede hot pants.
Do they fit?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But they
I
will.
like the optimism.
They will. They'll fit.
You
That's
mean
like
they're
my
way
goal. They're
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Not
wish.
yet.
No, they're suede hot pants from the 60s, and I didn't even know about them. And then she passed away this summer, and my cousin, it's her mom, and she said, oh, my mom wanted you to have her famous suede hot pants. I'm like, her famous suede hot pants? I've never heard of these. And then my uncle was like, oh, those were famous pants. But they're beautiful. Like they're like suede and they have buttons. And when I fit in them, I'll wear them on the episode. But I don't know when that's.
That's what's funny about like people being like yo-yo weight people. Like you or me even. Like I'll get down and then.
I'm always afraid to get rid of my fat clothes because I'm like, what if I gain it again?
And you take a lot of pride in your weight loss, but you don't go crazy with it because you know like how quickly.
It can come right back.
So you don't want to be like, here's how I did it.
1 4-month depression and it's all over.
Oh, you don't want to put out 9 videos like, hi, here's how I beat fat forever. And then like 2 years later, you know.
But that might keep you accountable too. I found that losing weight, it's the accountability that makes me do it, because I have like, if I don't do something, then I feel like I'm an idiot. Like I just joined Nike Run Club with Christina Walkinshaw and like Julia Lack with Mount Brown and Pete Zedlack are all in this little group, and it's like it ranks you by who walks the most. And I'm like walking 8 times a day because I'm like, well, I don't have to think I'm lazy, and I'm like, and I want to win. Like,
oh, I would kill all of you.
Well, then you should join it.
And I wouldn't even be. I would just be pacing in my garage.
Well, download it.
I would be all you just with pacing.
And we can see that because it would map it
like,
out.
oh wow, Sean's really worried about something. He's at 35,000 steps and he hasn't left his garage. I wonder how long the woman's been dead.
Oh my God.
He's pacing and wondering what to do with her body.
Oh my God.
But he's kicking our ass in this Nike walk club.
He did. You did.
Well.
But that's
I don't think I could murder people.
But like, if you tell people you're gonna do something, that like, I feel like if you had a whole bunch of videos saying I've lost so much weight, you would be like, no, I have to keep this going because I'll disappoint myself.
Or remove all these from YouTube.
Or remove all of this, yeah.
Or
scrub my legs, fake my death, and scrub it clean and go get obese again.
Yeah, get fat again and get off Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram is not a place for fat people, right? So you just have
Why not?
Well, I guess it is. Is it?
Absolutely.
I've never been on Instagram. I'm just guessing.
There are some like large, hot ladies that are like have a lot of followers.
Oh, I bet.
Like they have a career out of like being a bigger plus size model.
Yeah.
And like it's super accepted now, but
it used to be not many opportunities for bigger girls. It was like the Reitman's fall catalog.
Yeah, exactly.
Or go back to school.
Or you could work at Walmart and maybe be in the flyer. Remember
Yeah.
how they put in Walmart employees? So can you imagine like one person's like, I'm finally in the flyer.
Like have skinny stores finally gotten it through their heads that they need to make?
They've started.
Like
oh yeah.
That was the thing that never made sense
to
me.
I hated
I was
it.
like, why are there so many women's stores that just don't make clothes for bigger women?
And
it made no sense.
There's way more bigger women than
There's
there
so
are
much
smaller
money
women.
in that game.
And bigger is being like size 12 and over, which is actually the average
And you can
size.
And you can also charge a very fun shame tax.
Oh, it is the worst.
I've
had that shame tax.
Oh, look, a skinny chick gets them for 60, but I gotta pay fucking 85 because I'm fatter. You're not gonna go to the counter and say, "Excuse me, I'm a size 97, and I demand justice."
That happened to me in person.
Oh, did it really?
I was getting.
You got shame tax?
Oh yeah, I was Jana's maid of honor for her wedding.
Fashion shame tax.
And we went to Chinatown to this tailor to get like the dresses made. Like we just picked a fabric and then got a dress made. And I've been like the third of the bridal party to go in and get my measurements done. And then she goes, I charge you $20 extra. You bigger than the rest.
You fucking Korean bitch.
I thought it was funny.
Who would say that?
Well, Chinese women are very blunt, especially.
That is super blunt.
That's not shocking though, and it
That's
was actually
not like,
kind of funny.
she didn't have the right words. That's like something that didn't need to be said. It could have just been like an extra charge she put on it.
Yeah, not said why.
Yeah, don't say why. Don't say it up front. You $20 extra. Big.
That's literally what happened. That's literally what happened. I laughed about it.
Extra.
Yeah.
You and saying extra over and over
Bigger,
again.
extra.
Fabric, extra.
But that is a real thing. Like the fat tax, that is a real thing. You're right.
It should, yeah. Well, and if I owned a business, I'd be like, we're making clothes for every size motherfucker, and then the fat ones are going to pay double. And they're not going to say anything about it at the counter because they're going to be like, oh no, these are regular pants.
Not that many places
I don't.
do that. Not many places do that. Like H&M does not do that. They don't, but like
they can do it. Why not?
I
mean, it's the capitalist society. You know what I
mean? And then you could be like, they'd be like, well, why do you do it? Like because there's more. It's fabric
more fabric, and they would just do it in a Chinese accent. They would say, big, more money. What? Is this your communications department? Yes, big, more money. More money, big. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So what kind of, did you say anything or did?
No, I laughed. I was like, okay.
And did your friends go, what the fuck?
I was there by myself.
Oh, okay.
Like I had gone in, like we all just had to go in on our lunch hours and get our measurements done and then they could build the dress. And yeah, no, I was in shock and like laughed and I was like, wow.
It's funny what being fat makes you think of yourself. Like, because I've been there where I'm like, I'm sorry, and I can imagine being like somebody's tailoring me. Like, it's going to be more because of how huge your legs are. I'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, tailor. Like, why am I apologizing to a tailor who's going to charge me extra for being, like, just bigger?
Yeah.
But I would. I'd be like, yeah, sorry. Like, you probably apologized. Like, big, more money. And you were like,
oh,
I'm
sorry,
so sorry.
you're
I'm
right.
so sorry
no, I think I probably did apologize.
You're right. I don't mind paying the extra because of... And, like, let's be serious. How much more fabric would have been required? An inch?
Yeah, not much, but it was pretty funny.
Like, you're telling me that, like, you know, she just fucking sews it, right?
Yeah.
What's an extra inch of fucking fabric for 4 feet? $20? I don't fucking think so.
I don't know.
No. I have to do extra. Double. Big. Split.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Split seam splitter.
I got body shamed for losing weight.
No,
this week.
did you?
Yes, on my Instagram.
Did they say you lost too much weight? Or?
No, I posted this picture in a cropped sweater, and I was like, this is the first time I've ever worn a cropped thing outside, and I loved it. And then I'd never, ever worn a crop top in my life in public. And then, so I said that, and then this girl came in, she goes, well, but you've lost a lot of weight, so now you're doing it. It would have been more powerful if you'd done it when you were bigger.
Powerful?
She's like, this isn't it. And I came back at her, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Just because I didn't feel comfortable, and now you're making me feel bad because I finally felt comfortable, but now it's too late for it to be an impactful message, which is not why I just posted it because I was proud. I fucking look good.
You're allowed to. You know why? Because, you know, when you're a fat person, you know how many times when you're a fat person you feel shitty about yourself?
Uh-huh.
When you lose a bunch of weight and you're wearing new stuff, you're allowed to be like, look at what I can do now. Like,
I've had a couple, but this is the body positivity
and
movement.
you were smart to not wear a crop top at your largest size, right?
Why?
Well, because there's a reason you didn't wear it at that size,
I would have
right?
felt like...
You would have felt so uncomfortable in
and
a fucking crop top.
I've heard girls that like are bigger and they'll wear crop tops and they said, I got called this, and this, but I wore it anyway. And good for those fucking girls, because it's just like... I remember the first time I went to Mexico and I saw a very big girl in a bikini. I was like, I wish I could fucking...
And it's fine, just do it. Just don't sit down, right? Please, you know, don't wear it and be standing at all times.
At all times.
Don't
at all
sit
times.
down.
Do not
That's
sit
the
down.
only rule I have.
Yeah.
For bigger people
Yeah.
in two-piece anything is don't have a seat. Don't be comfortable. Put a shirt on and then eat lunch. You know what I mean? I don't want you.
Oh my God.
That's really the killer. Is like, I'm going to have a seat. No, you're not. Not in that crop top, honey. You're not having a fucking seat in that crop top. Maybe lean back in a beach chair, but not fully erect in a fucking Subway sandwich shop.
No, this is all from the body positivity movement, which I really think it's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But now there is a different thing, and I've had this happen to me a few times. Girls have messaged me and said, you look great, but I'm so disappointed that you lost weight because you were such a good voice for plus size women. And I was like, I was also dying, or I was like throwing myself.
Oh, are you saying fat women are dying?
Yeah. But that's the thing. And then I said something about like, I finally feel good. And they're like, and then one of those, well, fat people can be healthy too. And I'm like, of course they can. I'm not saying they can't.
Yes.
I wasn't.
Said the fat person.
I was not healthy. But like, that's the problem I have with the body positivity movement is like, they're like, support us, tell us we're great. And yes, they are. They look fucking great. But then when one of them loses weight, they feel betrayed. And then they think this person is basically just calling all of us fat and saying that we're unhealthy. Like, that's how they take it. And I've had a few messages from women saying that. And I get it. Nobody like...
But way more messages from guys saying, let's fuck.
Yeah, too many.
I get 100 messages from guys saying, let's have sex now.
I have a lot
from a girl saying, I wish you didn't lose the weight. So the numbers are still pretty good.
Yeah. But that's what I hated about them. I have a lot of messages from men that it's just like, hey, hi, what's up?
Just to see if you take the bait.
How's it going?
You think I'm going to take the bait on that? Like, yeah, they want you to be like, oh, hey, right back at you.
Yeah. Oh, and they're
What the
weird
fuck?
too. They're like, even though so there's two guys that have come to my attention since I got engaged. The guys that were like, I love that we're friends. It's so awesome that we're friends, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then the second I get engaged, they unfollow me. The second I get engaged. Because I checked.
Well, that's better than people that are like, no, I want to fuck.
No, but I was like, well, this whole time you're like...
Are there people like that?
Yes!
That want to have sex with married people only?
Yes, there are. I think that's a thing.
Really?
I don't know. But there's that, and then there's the guys that are just like, that are still... I know you're engaged, but I was like, oh, you're weird.
I just wish you hadn't got engaged because you were so good for the single positivity movement. So like you meet people, like I just think you getting married sends the wrong message to other girls that stayed single. So like you're doing things now that are making some of your fan base or whatever
Pissed.
be like, what the fuck? She's getting married. She's happy. She's lost weight. She's exercising. She seems healthy.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
So yeah, though you can throw all those people in that same bucket. Those people existed in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. Now they can hide behind body positivity.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, they just would have been like, no, she lost a bunch of fucking weight, bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like I think the body
they just don't like
positivity is
they
great,
don't like the fact that like you're doing better than they are.
I guess so. I don't know. I have been a very fat person before, and I didn't want to be very fat at any moment of that time. And I know that there are people that like they're like, no, I'm happy the way I am, and blah blah blah. That's so fucking great for you, but I was not. Like that's the thing is like not everybody is the same.
No.
And not everybody, like, there are some women that enjoy being that way. There are men that enjoy being, like, go ahead. I'm not telling you to lose weight, but you can't come at me and say I'm a bad, or, like, I'm less of a leader because I lost weight.
And you didn't feel comfortable wearing a crop top at heavier weights.
Yeah.
Why is that a bad,
I was flabbergasted by the comment, and then she came back, she goes, oh, no, I'll still support you. I think you're great, but I just, like, I'm like, the only reason why I said something, like I would have just ignored the comment, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna like tell this person that was really rude and really shitty to say to somebody. Like it's really, really, and I got a lot of people saying like, good for you for saying something because that girl's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're allowed to be fat, you're allowed to lose weight. There's a lot of things you're allowed to do now, and it's all great.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hate that whole thing that you're like, well, you're just saying fat people are unhealthy. I'm like, no, I'm saying I was unhealthy. Like, I was very unhealthy.
It's like, guess what? I'm pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
I've been on pills.
Yeah.
Like, I was on a road to being, like, big, fat, and insulin dependent.
Yeah.
Big, fat, beautiful, and needing insulin, and having heart conditions run in my family, and.
Yeah.
Right? So and you're not 24 anymore.
No.
So it's like, it's like, oh, I was fat, now I'm skinny for fun. It's like, you fucking bitch.
Like, I saw my mom get really sick in the last year of her life, and I was like, she was young. She was 68, and she looked like she aged 20 years in, like, 2 weeks.
Isn't it funny how, like, our perception of ages change as we age?
Yes.
Because, like, when I was 20,
yeah.
and somebody said, she was young, she was 68, I'd be like, 68 is dead.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, now that I'm 42, it's like, she was only 68.
Yeah, she should have 20 more years.
Lived to 82 at a minimum.
At least.
That's how long I plan on hanging in there, but
yeah.
I don't know how long you can hang in there. You know what I mean?
No.
And if you're like, if we just stay a giant fat weight, the last 10 years of our life, you are like, ugh.
Yeah.
My knees hurt.
Also,
my shoulders hurt.
my mom
my
was in
back
so
hurts.
much pain for so long, and I just watched it all, and I'm like, I also watched her mental health be awful, and just she wouldn't deal with stuff, and she wouldn't, like, I tried to get her to work out, I tried to get her to exercise, but she just wouldn't do it. And then, and it was like she kind of was like slowly killing herself, and I watched all that. I'm like, I don't want to be like that, like that. One of the funny 60s, things, like, I want to be traveling.
One of the things you notice.
I want an RV that I can swing in with my husband.
when you do like comedy for seniors, because once in a while I'll get booked for like a seniors event, at a seniors facility or whatever, and one of the, it's an old joke, but it is true. Like, none of them are fat.
Yeah.
And none of them go for a smoke at break.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, none of these are all the healthy people that aren't in the ground.
Yeah.
The people that are in the ground are the ones that went for smoke breaks and had an extra piece of chicken because I'm beautiful anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
She's crazy, Irene.
Yeah.
Bigger girl, but she has fun.
She has fun. But
laughed her way into an early grade.
Some people want to have fun. Like, I don't particularly want to live into my 80s. It looks kind of...
Some people in their 70s look like they can still laugh, but it seems like 80s is when the age of laughter goes away.
And you know that somebody's getting really old because they get so grouchy. And my mom was that way. My mom has an aunt that broke her hip. She's 99 right now, and like I can't even go see her. But like my cousin said that she's just so mad all the time.
I think... Once you've been to your 30th funeral, it's your 30th funeral. I think that's the thing. Like, you get to your 30th funeral that you've attended, and you're like, holy fuck.
What am I? Am I going to be 32?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then people will ask you questions, and you're like, I don't know.
It is crazy.
Just wake me up when the next funeral is.
It is. I don't want to feel that. That's an awful feeling, I think, to be an older person just watching your friends drop and waiting for your turn. Like, That's fucked up.
And you don't really leave your house anymore unless it's for a funeral. So you got your funeral stuff hung up because you don't want to get it all wrinkly.
Yeah.
And the rest of it just fucking strewn on the floor.
Yeah.
This is the shit I wear during the day, and my funeral thing's hung up, so I don't have to wash it as much.
Yeah.
But I've got 2 coming up next week because you've got a funeral schedule if you're an older person.
It's
if you are
true.
a popular old person like you, that's the problem with your popularity. When I get old, I'm because here's the thing people forget. You've been invited to many weddings.
No, I haven't.
You're a popular person. You've gone to a lot of weddings. You're having 270 people at your wedding.
I'm not 270.
But this is what I'm worried for you because that flips, right? All of a sudden, you will have attended 78 funerals for people that you knew, acquaintances, friends of friends.
And you don't have to go as many because you have no friends.
Exactly. So I'm going to be at home and you're going to be like, oh, I got to go. I'm 73 and I got to fucking take my pill to get rid of my hip pain and go to a fucking funeral for somebody that came to my wedding.
Well, at least you'll be eating good. Funeral food is always good.
Always good tuna sandwiches.
Tuna sandwiches. We had pierogies
I'm going to be at home
mom's.
relaxing, right? Because nobody came to my wedding. Nobody sent me a Facebook message. Nobody gives a shit what I do. And as a result, I won't feel any real pull to go to their funeral. I'll be like, I like to grieve in my own way.
Would you go to my funeral?
Never thinking about it.
Would you go to my funeral?
I would absolutely.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Yeah, of course. I would be the MC of your funeral.
Please, you wouldn't be the MC of my wedding, so you have to MC my funeral.
I will MC your funeral.
Who should MC my wedding?
I won't be around for your funeral, but who should? Well, I mean, I think it should be a woman because it's time.
It's still
a person of color, preferably. Because if you pick me, they'll be like, "Oh my god, another white straight male MC." It's just people won't like it. It's not very 2020.
Yeah, that is kind of a predictable wedding thing, and I don't want to be a predictable.
And 2020 is one of those years where like now every single thing that happens that's just slightly off kilter. People are like, that's 2020 for you.
Well, did you hear about that like gender?
My window fell out. That's 2020 for you. My wife left me. 2020.
Did you hear about that gender reveal party? And that is why the hills are on fire. And
that's just nice.
And like, I love it because I'm like, hopefully people, I think gender reveal parties are the dumbest thing in the world. They are like, just have a baby shower and we don't have to talk about your kid's genitalia. Like, I think it's so fucking weird that people have like
I don't understand.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand how gender reveal parties came about at the same time that we talk all the time about how gender doesn't
that's
matter.
Another thing is like, isn't that offensive to people who are non-binary or something?
Yeah, it's the.
And what if your baby's non-binary? What color do you throw up for them?
Gender reveal feels like an idea that was like should have died out, and when we started like caring about transgender people.
Yeah.
Because it's like now it's like this huge deal what gender you are, but we live in a time where that shouldn't be that important.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, you should have been having gender reveal parties years ago.
Yeah, it should have been
not
70s,
like in the
80s
last 10 years.
And now it should be baby shower, where it's
just
like
baby shower.
I'm having a baby.
And if you want to reveal the gender of the baby, make the shower blue or pink or I don't know.
Yeah, or red for miscarriage, or black for abortion.
You know what I mean? An abortion bride baby shower.
That's what pisses me off about gender reveals is there's only 2 options. Right?
Yeah.
I think we need to do it more for miscarries and aborts.
Oh no, Sean!
Yeah, we should. A gender reveal party where you have a fucking bunch of girls over, little dance,
and then
and then black. Color black. Abortion. That's right. I had an abortion 3 months ago. Let's drink! Because now you're not pregnant, right? So now you can fucking get shit-faced, It's kind of fun.
Oh my god.
Because everybody comes to your party for a gender reveal and they're like, well, Kathleen can't drink. And you're like, oh, fucking...
We're gonna crank it up! I had an abortion!
See, now that's a fun baby shower. That's a baby shower I want to go to.
Thank God Wendy's dead for this episode because she really hated when we talked about dead babies. Remember?
She did hate the dead baby episode. Well, you guys do have a weird chemistry, but just, my goodness.
Too much dead baby talk.
And then we were like, whatever, Wendy, like, Jesus Christ. And then, and then we remembered what we were actually talking about. And I think it was a baby in a microwave.
Yeah. horrible thing that's
at
happened.
the end of the day, you can't really blame Wendy.
Yeah, no. She had every right
upset
to
about.
be upset.
I think we were talking about a baby spinning on a disc in the microwave on defrost for 8 minutes. I think that's what the crux of the joke was.
But that wasn't the joke. That's what actually happened to this baby.
Was it really?
Yeah, someone. It was a podcast I was listening to.
You have some great baby stories. So there was a baby in a microwave.
It was a filicide, which is the term for a woman that kills her children.
Right.
And this woman put her baby in a microwave and cooked it.
Oh my god.
I know. And that was hard. Like, I was listening to that on the way home from a gig. I'm like, I don't think I should be listening to this. I really don't think I should be listening.
I hate kids, but not that
much.
Not
that much. But
and you don't even really hate kids.
No, I like kids. I just don't really necessarily want. And that's the thing is, if I had kids, I'd start hating them. That because all my friends are like, you're so good with kids. You're so fun. You have so much fun with them. I'm like, yeah, because I don't have to deal with them on a daily basis, and it's a novelty for me. It's like if you come over and play with my dogs because you don't have a dog, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. I'm like, well, dogs are work, but not as much as kids.
Well, kids. The problem with kids is it's a horrific return on your investment. Yeah. In terms of the time and effort and energy and money that you put into their life and the amount you get in return. Yeah. Is, from an investment portfolio point of view,
depending on if they make the
never
NHL.
Invest in chill. Because you'll be like, you'll buy all their clothes. Like, you got to get ready for school. Yeah. School's coming up. We got to buy you some masks. We got to buy you some clothes. We got to get you some indoor shoes. I got to get you some binders. And then they go to school and you're like, I wonder how their school's going. Yeah. And then they come home and you're like, how was your first day? And it's okay.
That's why.
Okay, that's all right. What happened? I don't know.
That's why.
What do you mean? Please tell me something that happened. I can't remember anything that happened.
But that's why parents double invest by putting their kids in sports or dance or whatever, or performance arts, just hoping that they make the NHL or they become a pop singer or something, that they will have an investment payoff. And hopefully they're going to have parents that the kid doesn't want to get emancipated.
Well, I'm just hoping to have like 2 coders. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like make money.
Stable. They can put their dad on their dental plan.
Yeah.
Can I put my dad on?
My dad needs our dental plan.
That's the saddest thing you could ever do is have, hopefully your children can put you on their fucking
Who is
medical
Sean
plan.
Lagomber? Your son?
That's my dad.
No, that's my dad.
That's my dad. He's my business covers my dad's fucking tooth tragedies from all the sugar he ate in his 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s.
When's the last time you had your teeth cleaned?
Oh, I don't know. Probably 7 years ago or something.
Yeah, I just recently started getting them cleaned because I got benefits.
I didn't do anything. I never went to it. Like, my mom made the last appointment that I needed.
Oh my God.
So I would have been like 18, probably 19 or something.
I know you said like 7 years ago.
And then, no. I'm saying, and then I didn't go to the dentist forever.
Oh, okay.
And then my kids started going to the dentist every year, so I would go. And then eventually one of the receptionists was like, what about you?
You ever?
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And they're like, you should, like, how many years has it been? And I was like, I don't know.
How many appointments did you have to have?
2. They were like, oh, we got to do some extra.
Descaling.
Descaler. And they were like, big teeth problem.
Extra
big teeth problem. 20, extra 20. Yeah, like, imagine if dentists could do that. Like,
oh my God.
Doctors,
imagine if anybody could do that.
No, more tumors. Extra 30. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even know I had cancer yet. Why is this Asian radiologist such a bitch? Extra tumor, 20.
They have a different culture than us.
Yeah, I was talking to like a chick that was a radiologist at the comedy show. There was 2 people at the comedy show at Young Camps.
I know, I wanted to come, but I forgot that I worked on Friday night.
Me, Matt Alladine, and Andrew.
How was that?
Fun. Yeah, Andrew does like his baby thing is Black Lives Matter now.
Oh my God.
Which I was like, he should have BLM on it, but he's got a different twist on it, which is super sincere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But there was 2 people in the crowd. One guy was a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
And I was asking him, like, what's your most recent tattoo? And he's like, I tattooed a guy's children, like the names of his children above his eyebrow.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that guy doesn't pay child support. There's no chance.
No, because he's spending on tattoos.
Any guy that pays for his children's lives doesn't need their names tattooed on his fucking face. It's a deadbeat dad that's like, Jenna Louise. Like
Jenna Louise.
So he can go to his ex-wife and be like, "You think I don't care? You think I don't fucking care? Look at my face." And then she's like, "Where's the fucking money?" And he's like, "I don't need money. Look at this. I got their names on my face forever." So yeah, so we got that, and I was like, "How much of that did you charge?" And he's like, $100. And I'm like, dude, there has to be a rule in tattooing where you make the face an extra $900.
Yeah.
There has to be, and that should be, the government should be saying, if you want a face or neck tattoo, it's an extra it's got to be 10 times what a normal body tattoo is.
I have a neck tattoo put on the back of my neck and I don't like, well, it's all right.
But you should, I'm just saying, like, and the more it's closer to your face, the more you pay. There should be a grid of like, you know, anything in this area has to be $4,000 to tattoo your face. Yeah. Because now you've just made yourself unemployable on purpose and the system has to pick up for that. You know what I mean? So it's a sin tax in some ways.
Oh my God.
Where you're like, I'm going to carve my whole face and then try to get a job at Arby's. And like, oh, looks like I'm still on EI. Like, no, fuck face.
Do they not hire people with face tattoos? Are they not trustworthy?
Well, they just don't seem to be, right?
I hope that one day our leader will have a face tattoo.
One day our leader?
Yeah, you think our prime minister one day will have a face tattoo?
Yeah, just 3 stars and like 2 tears. Like, I'm ready to lead. Like, I trust that fucking guy.
Yeah, I do trust him because tears mean he murdered someone in jail.
He looks like a jailhouse informant.
That's what.
How long have you been fucking blathering on?
53.
Oh, that's 53. Too long, isn't it? That's too long. It should be like.
We're getting to scratching time. This is the fun part.
Oh yeah.
We both bought the ticket. We didn't communicate, and we both bought, but we bought the same one. We didn't even know.
Chrome.
We're in podcast sync. We're in podcast.
Oh, you got the barcode on the first scratch.
I want to say that I never done this before, and I don't think I have.
But you bought a Chrome before? We're doing 2. We're doing 2. This is the first time in the history of the podcast where we're doing 2.
We've done 2 ones.
Yeah, but cheap ones.
Cheap ones. Oh, yeah.
Back when this podcast first started, we didn't make any money doing it.
Now we're rolling in the dough.
I think it would be weird if you got paid for a podcast.
I think it'd be awesome.
I think it'd be weird. Like, I listen to people like podcasting and then they have to go into their ads, I'm like, ew. You know what I mean? Like, the loss of sincerity.
What, you don't like our ads for Kent Tilley's business?
Yeah, we really got into that. But just when somebody's like, I just want to tell you a story about my mom, right after I talk about, and then you're like, oh God, like, he's going to talk about fucking whatever.
I do hate podcasts
or whatever. Yeah. Like, and they just roll into it so seamlessly.
But they meant, like, so if somebody came along and said, we'll give you guys $1,000 an episode to do this ad, you'd be like, ah.
Well, we would do it.
I was going to say, but if someone wants to.
Yeah, if anybody wants to do that, we're willing to do it.
But I would anticipate that our listeners would be like, oh, God.
Well, our listeners would have to understand.
And then one of your listeners would be like, I just liked you guys better when it was free.
Yeah,
I just don't know
when you weren't making
why
any money.
You used to be an inspiration to us lowly podcasters.
Yeah, and now you're
making
money.
It's like not fun.
Why would you even think that's okay to say to somebody? That's so fucked up in here.
All right, let's see if we're winners or losers.
Here's
again.
one. This is the one that you brought. I think. I don't know.
Come on,
it's right. This thing isn't working very well. Oh, I don't think I got all the wax off. Hold on.
Jeez Louise. Okay, let's see.
Okay, this. Oh, here we go. Go with it. Yep, non-winning ticket.
God damn it.
Okay, we got one more chance.
See, I like this. I like this doubling up.
Should we have like $1 million?
We're going to become gambling addicts. Okay, everybody.
How much money have you made your podcast? Oh, we spent about $5,000.
We bought at least 50 tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we would just spread them out on the table and we wouldn't
even
talk during the
them.
podcast.
We're dumb.
Just do this.
We should have been keeping to see how much money we spent on. We could go back and do that by like looking it up and listening, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Why is you not working?
I don't think you were directly over it.
I was directly over it.
I don't think you were.
I was hovering. I was, Sean.
When I scan barcodes, I sit.
Non-winning.
Fuck this.
Fuck you, Chrome.
2 Chromes? Okay, I'm going to go on the record and say fuck Chrome.
Fuck Chrome.
2 tickets and
we're going to give Chrome a 0 stars out of 5.
We should start rating them.
Well, we're rating starting today and you get 0 out of 5 Chrome.
If you find yourself at your local Circle K and there's a domestic dispute happening just outside, don't panic and get a Chrome.
No.
Take the extra time.
Get a separate life.
Domestic dispute. There's a lot of domestic disputes at that Circle K. I'm going to tell you that.
Which one? The one?
There's the one, what is it? What's 114th or something like that?
104th Ave?
Yeah, 104th. Like, whenever I go there, there's a man and a woman that are about to enter Circle K. They seem to be in good spirits. And then something happens just outside the door where they're all of a sudden, like, screaming at each other. And I'm inside getting Red Bulls and stuff. And the employees are so fucking, they're so, well, they are so desensitized to rage happening inside or outside of their store that they're like, I'm like, can you believe that? And they're like,
We can't believe that.
I went to a telestore to get a new phone, and the guy next to me dealing with the other lady, he was super rude. Like, he was like, well, how come I can't get that on my phone? That's fucking bullshit. Like, he's like yelling, and she was, and then when he left, I was like, well, I'm usually the wrong customer to get, but today
it was him.
He was, and then the lady was like, I'm sorry, what's that? And I'm like,
they're too used
well,
to
just like he was crazy and yelling, and she's like, oh, what?
I did that for a
like,
job.
You didn't fucking notice that guy was rude? Like, how fucking horrible is your job that guy's rudeness was just something you could breeze through?
I did that for a job. I had rich Americans yelling at me at the Neiman Marcus call center.
Oh my God.
It was off for like, and my job was the one that I need to speak to a manager, and then the call would just get thrown to me.
Oh, because you sounded like a manager.
No, because I was a manager that made $1 more an hour or something dumb like that. Oh, we're gonna make you a manager. Here's your extra $1.
That's what's so funny when people are like, I need to speak to your manager, and then they throw it to somebody making 16 rather than 15. And you think that you're like, all right, now that I've got a pro on the line,
now that I've got
let's cut to the brass
actual
tacks.
ears on this problem.
Now that I've switched from talking to a 17-year-old to talking to an 18-year-old, let's get down to business. Because I'm a businessman, and I'm assuming so are you.
There's an Esso on the run by my place that I sometimes go to, but it is very, like, it is, I've seen people smoking crack, I've seen people shooting out, like, right next to Royal Elk Hospital, and there's always somebody that opens the door for you. Like,
I know.
And then you're like, okay, here's money, because I feel like I'm an asshole if I don't give you money, but that's kind of entrapment. But
I know, I don't like that one.
I don't like that one, but then one day I went there and they were like blaring classical music and there were no homeless people, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I went in and I said, I got my thing, and Adam, like, I went back to the car and I said to Adam, I'm like, there's no homeless people and they're blaring like classical music, and Adam's like, oh yeah, tweakers don't like classical music.
Well, they used to do that in Fort Saskatchewan when I was a teenager.
Is it that they don't like classical music, or nobody likes classical music?
Nobody likes anything loud, right?
Yeah.
So like, they used to do it at the 7-Eleven near my junior high when I was a kid.
They blared
classical music.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want teens assembling and asking for cigarettes and hanging out in front of Seb.
Oh.
So they just blared music to keep people away.
Is this like just some underground tips for the convenience stores out there?
They all know it exists, and they all are like, do we need to implement that or not? Do we put a speaker out there and blare music or not?
It works. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what's going on here?
It works like a hot damn. It worked in Fort Saskatchewan too. They start blaring classical music to the point where you can't even like talk to each other outside the store, and then people just leave.
Yeah. I get my shit and I get out of there.
Well, we really fucking blew this podcast.
We really blew it to this week.
Damn it.
God damn it.
We lost both?
We blew it to Varsity Blues. I'm surprised Varsity
I'm sorry, I have to stop blowing you. This is too crazy.
I'm surprised Varsity Blues isn't playing in the background.
Did you like stop and tell him?
The third time I was like, because the second time I'm like, well, it's weird.
No, well, it'd be weird.
But the third time I literally was like,
I'm gonna have to finish
third time Varsity. But then I'm thinking, well, a lady wouldn't reveal that this is the third blowjob to that movie.
I hope you don't mind if I laugh while finishing you with my hand. Because this is quite a weird, funny coincidence.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Has anybody ever finished you with their hand and laughed?
I think every man should have that happen to him. Every man should have that happen to them. Every person should have to be overweight at one time in their life, and everyone should have to be a server at some point in their life.
Right. And everybody should get to be rich for 10 years.
At least.
Just like us.
Yes, for hopefully the last 10 years.
Oh, that's the best time to be rich, the last time. You don't want to be broke when you're 78.
No.
You're like, I want chocolate. And they're like, you don't have money for chocolate, Kathleen.
I did yesterday.
I just want more chocolate. You didn't save enough to have chocolate, Kathleen. But I can't. Everybody else is having chocolate. They save money, Kathleen. Oh, well, I just want chocolate.
I love how old Kathleen sounds.
And she just likes chocolate.
I love chocolate. I don't love chocolate. I'm more of a salty person. You know that because of my
you're
brain.
Savory, your brain, your salty brain. You're a salty fish brain.
I don't like fish.
Gross. All right. Well, we did it again. Thanks for being on your own podcast.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
No one will ever make money from it, but that's fine.
One day someone will, and it'll be Jim.
All right. Well, thanks for everything, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Always a pleasure.